Welcome! Welcome to Shobi's Table's second annual fall fundraiser from scratch. We're a couple minutes late, but it's gonna be worth it. In the next hour, you are going to be inspired to do some great holiday baking, some intentional menu planning. You're gonna get to hear a lot about the operations of this ministry we all love so much, Shobi's Table. And most importantly, we are fundraising. We are fundraising with a major goal of $15,000 tonight in the next hour to keep that big, beautiful blue truck rolling to feed the people of St. Paul. I'm Elizabeth D'Amico Carper, pastor at Memorial Lutheran Church in Afton, Minnesota, and I also get the honor and joy of being a board member for Shobi's Table. But really, on top of all of that, I'm an enthusiastic consumer of all of the food and love and community that is built around this kitchen and from the Shobi's truck itself. But before we go any further into this 1 hour live stream fundraiser, we have big news to share with you. Tonight, not only are you and I and all of our friends going to work together to raise $15,000, but we have somebody who has come alongside to help us out in a big way. And to share that news with you, we're going to hear it from longtime board member, Pastor Peter Hansen. So take it away, Peter.
Well, hello, friends and supporters of Shobi's Table. My name is Peter Hansen. I'm one of the pastors at Christ the King Cristo Rey in New Brighton. And I've recently completed my term as a member of the board of Shobi's Table as well. I was actually one of the original members of the board. I joined the board in 2013 at the invitation of Pastor Margaret Kelly and was there to help her develop her vision for expanding the work of Shobi's Table. We were part of the board that received the gift of the food truck, gift that was later rebranded to look like it does now on my t-shirt. What most of us think of when we think of the Shobi's Table ministry, we think of this blue food truck and the great work that it does. I've been there to help support the work of Deacon Kari Olson as well, as she's taken the lead of Shobi's Table ministry in these last few years, as we've expanded our ministry from 1 day a week to 2 days a week to 3 days a week, serving in different neighborhoods of St. Paul, along with the outreach and catering ministry that's done within the congregations of the St. Paul Area Synod and elsewhere as well. I'll soon be leaving the St. Paul Area Synod as I've accepted a new call to serve in a bilingual, ecumenical, international ministry, primarily among immigrants and refugees in Lyon, France. But as I go, I will continue to hold in my heart and really support in any way that I can the work of Shobi's Table. It's such a wonderful ministry to be involved in and something that I will continue to do. And here's where this announcement gets to be really exciting. I get to be the one who tells you that we have been given a matching grant at Shobi's Table. We've been offered a matching grant of up to $15,000. That's right, friends. That means that tonight we have the opportunity to double every single dollar that's given. So I invite you to join me in giving generously to Shobi's Table tonight so that the full gift of the $15,000 can be brought to support Shobi's alongside each and every dollar that you give in the next hour as well. Shobi's Table is such a wonderful ministry, such a wonderful way to embody the gospel and to share it with our neighbors all around us. So I invite you to give generously. Give generously now so that your generous donation can be matched as well. May God bless the work of Shobi's Table.
Thank you, Peter. Isn't that such amazing news?
Yes.
This
amazing.
Generous matching grant that is going to double every single dollar that comes in tonight. So you need to learn how to participate in this fundraiser so we can hit our goal. And the best person to tell us how to do that is Deacon Kari Olson, mission developer and director of Shobi's Table.
Thanks, Elizabeth. It is great to be here with you. And I am really excited that we get to share tonight a little bit more about how Shobi's operates. We're going to share about how we menu and do a little cooking together. And also in this hour, we're going to work together to get to that goal of 15,000 so it can be doubled to 30. And here's just a little tidbit on how to give tonight. There's a couple ways you can do it. Head on over to our website, shobistable.org/fromscratch2021. There's little dashes in between there. And there's a donate button right there. There's actually a donate button right on our front page as well. But if you like a good old-fashioned check, feel free to also send us one. There's all sorts of information on our website as well, how to do that. And if you call in tonight and let us know that you're going to send in a check, then we can add that to our numbers and report back.
Good.
And we can let you all know how quickly we're getting to our goal tonight.
Good. That hitting that $15,000 goal.
That's
We're
right.
already a step in that direction.
Ooh, do tell.
We just got the update that we have raised $1,601.
Woohoo!
I want to thank that person who gave that $1. It
that's
just
right.
makes it a much more interesting number.
Yeah.
So we're at 1,600. We need to get to 15,000. So do what Kari says. Head over to the website, find that link, do your part in the next hour. We can do this, people.
That's right. Well, in the meantime, I'd like to introduce you to one of our new staff members. She is here as our kitchen manager, Danielle Mader. Come on over.
Hey.
Hi, Kari. Hey.
Hi. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi, welcome.
Thanks.
Danielle, you have worked in various kitchens, and there's something special about working at Shobi's, about this kitchen. What's distinctive about the way Shobi's does food in ministry?
Well, one of the things that we do is we rescue food. And what that means is right now we're partnering with an organization called Twin Cities Food Justice. And they rescue food that would otherwise be composted or thrown away. And they help distribute it to nonprofits and other people who can use it.
Oh, our first phone donation!
So, but anyway, so we get this donation of food, which helps us because it's free, but it also helps with our goal of being good stewards of the environment.
Yeah.
So it feels really good that we know we're kind of rescuing this food that would otherwise be thrown away. And then the other thing that is different about a commercial kitchen or a normal restaurant is that the pay-as-you-can model and also what's different from maybe what you would know as a soup kitchen is that we really want it to be a dignified experience, just like going to a restaurant, just like you or I would go to a restaurant. Whether you pay or not, you still deserve dignity. And so we offer a lot of choices. People get to eat the food the way they want it. What kind of toppings do you want on your chili? What sides do you want? Do you want dessert or not? We always try to have a gluten-free option. We always try to have a vegetarian option so that everyone can get what they really want. So that's what really makes us different, I think.
Yes, different and so intentional. I think that is just such a central word for what Shobi's is and how you do everything that you do is with great, great intention. Now we need to let you go because you're working on a special project through this hour. So you head out that way.
Thanks.
Kari and I are going to talk a little bit about holiday desserts because it is the season.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Do you have a favorite holiday dessert?
I love my Aunt Nadine's brownie nut pie so much.
Aunt Nadine. That does sound amazing. I look forward to you making that someday.
I will.
I'm more of a apple pie girl.
Also good.
And I have to say one of the reasons why I love apple pie is that you taught my daughter how to make the perfect crust. So I don't make pie, but she does. Because
We
she
had a
learned
good
it from
time.
you. Yeah.
We had a great time.
Yep. Well, at Shobi's, you don't do too many pies necessarily out of the truck, not dessert
No.
pies. It's not the most on-the-go type of dessert,
Nope.
but a
nope.
crisp.
Oh yeah, we do our fair share of crisps.
Yeah, you can work wonders with a crisp. So through the evening, we're going to meet, we've met Danielle, and we're going to meet the other staff member here at Shobi's, Taylor, and they are going to talk us through how to make a wonderful apple crisp. It's easy, it's healthy, it's just the perfect thing for the season, right? So are we ready? I think we're ready to take our first step here with crisp. Danielle and Taylor, what's the first thing you do to make a crisp?
Okay. Well, this is an apple crisp, as you've mentioned, but the first thing to decide when you're going to make an apple crisp is, or any crisp, is what's your filling going to be. So we happen to have apples, Granny Smith apples, in the refrigerator, and that's what we used. Granny Smith are a good choice because they're a firm apple and they are very tart, so they kind of contrast with the sugar. But this recipe will work with stone fruit, plums, pears, peaches, any berry, any combination of those fruits. So if you have some apples and some pears and some, I don't know, blackberries, kind of mix them all together, and it's going to make a delicious apple berry crisp. So what did you just put into that bowl?
So we've got about 8 cups of apples.
And just kind of cut up into little,
Yeah.
I don't know, squarish squares.
Yeah, it's going to be equally delicious.
Yes. And then for the filling, we're going to put in about a 1/4 cup of flour, a cup of sugar, and a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of cinnamon. And I know you were telling me, because in the recipe it says a little to add less flour if it's apples.
Yeah, so when we make our recipes, they're guidelines, and we can use them with multiple kinds of fruit. And so if we have a sort of like really juicy berry crisp we want to make, we add more flour, so it's not watery.
Yeah, so the flour kind of gels the liquid. And the apples have so much pectin naturally that they sort of do that themselves. But we still add a little bit of flour into the apple crisp. Okay. And then here in this bowl we have the crumb mixture, which is going to go on top of the apples. And we've got 2 cups of oats, and these are quick oats, but you could use like the old-fashioned oats. About 1/3 of a cup of flour, a little bit of salt, a teaspoon, a little brown sugar, about a 1/4 cup, and then a 1/2 cup of butter. And that has been cut up into little pieces, and it's very, very cold.
Yeah, so we want to keep the butter cold so they're manageable size pieces so that we can work it in with our fingers. And so we just try to work it in with our fingertips so as to not warm up the butter too much, and just get a nice texture with the butter and the oats and that cinnamon.
Yeah, because kind of the goal is to get the butter all incorporated into the crumb mixture. And we talk about it being like a little looking gravelly, or like little pea-sized bits. Okay,
Right.
so we're going to keep working on that, and when you come back we'll show you how to put it all together.
Thank you so much. One thing I love about what I've learned by sometimes being in the kitchen here at Shobi's is you all know your ingredients so well.
That's right.
You know, okay, the apple's going to do this or berry's going to do that. I don't know these things by nature, but I'm learning. I'm learning from you and from Taylor and Danielle too. Now, at Shobi's, you're making meals multiple times a day or multiple times a week, getting them out to other people. Where does it all begin? How do you start this process?
Well, on Mondays we get our big delivery, and then we make a menu. And we've got a little video to share with you as a window into our weekly menuing. So enjoy.
Oh, good.
Hey everybody! This is Kari Olson, the director
Sorry,
of Shobi Table,
I
and
skipped
Danielle
it, sorry.
Maynard,
Yeah.
the kitchen manager.
That was my
We're
bad.
here to tell you about how we menu each week at Shobi's Table. Well, you can see that we have a big box of red potatoes, some blueberries, beautiful organic blueberries, carrots in a bag, baby carrots, some spinach, looks like some greens over there.
Yeah, we got spring mix right there.
Some kind of bread. I'm already thinking bread pudding with these blueberries.
Okay, well let me check what kind of bread it is.
Okay.
This box over here is open. It looks like we have roasted potato and onion rolls.
That will not work for bread pudding.
This squash came from a friend of Shobi's Table, Tiffany, who runs a garden for the University of Minnesota Extension. But then a lot of this came from Twin Cities Food Justice.
Which rescues food from local co-ops that the food would be thrown away. Yeah, and so we use it and save it.
Yeah.
From the trash heap.
And a lot of times we get stuff in great condition, and sometimes we get things that are in condition that maybe some people at the grocery store might not get. But we definitely know how to work. Like these potatoes have a bunch of eyes, but we are not bothered by them.
No, we just pluck them off.
Great.
Pluck off those eyes.
Well, all this squash is making me think,
garlic in the freezer. That would
Yes.
be delicious.
That's making me think we need to have a bread that maybe this bread will go with the soup and it will have roasted garlic in it.
Oh, like homemade bread?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we can even have these, we can make croutons out of these weird rolls.
Oh, yes.
There's a crunchy element,
Oh, I love a good garnish.
Yes.
Every soup needs a little something special on top.
especially a smooth soup needs something a little crunchy or a little
Yeah.
savory on top.
Yeah.
That actually makes it really
A
good.
little bit of texture change. Fall. I think we are in the zone for shepherd's pie again. Like summer, it's too
Too heavy.
summer.
Okay.
But
And we can definitely put spinach and carrots and we have all that celery from last week.
oh yeah.
Okay.
Every week at Shobi's, we get this delivery, and then we have to decide what we're gonna do with the stuff that we receive and how we need to fill out the menu.
Well, dessert is another thing we need to think about. Blueberries lend themselves.
We do have lemons still from last week's delivery, and what about like a lemon blueberry muffin?
Okay, I like that.
Let's see.
And then a salad,
Oh,
obviously,
yes,
clearly. Okay.
You know, last season we did a lovely salad that was inspired by the blueberries we got last year, and our assistant Taylor made a beautiful blueberry vinaigrette. So I'm inspired to maybe save some of those blueberries for a fruit
Well, we have
vinaigrette.
I love freezing things and just having them in the freezer for a rainy day. Right?
Yeah.
January, say, okay,
Yeah.
let's get some blueberries out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess, our volunteers are here. We gotta get them going, tell them to start chopping things.
That's right. So our menu for this week is going to look like we're going to have some shepherd's pie. We're going to have some squash soup. We're going to have a beautiful salad with blueberry vinaigrette. We're going to have some fresh roasted garlic bread. We are going to have blueberry lemon muffins, which is a lot of baking, but I think the fall is calling for it. That's our menu for this week at Shobi's Table, and we can't wait to see you at the cafe.
I loved learning how a meal comes into creation. There's just so much intentionality. I'm just going to use that word all night, I think. But yeah, well, we all have a lot to learn, I think, starting with simple, nourishing ingredients and creating an incredible meal. So perfect for all of us as we're thinking about hosting or cooking this holiday season. We can be inspired by the way Shobi's does their stuff. Let's talk a little bit about fundraising. We are currently at $2,388, getting us closer to that $15,000. So thank you for giving. Keep it up. Head over to the Shobi's page. And you know what? Will you join me? I'm going to text a friend. I've got my fundraising page right up here on my phone. I'm going to tell a friend that it's time to give to Shobi's. I was thinking Bishop Lowell really wanted to be here tonight.
That's right.
And she couldn't make it. So I'm just going to tell her, don't worry. It's time to give. Y'all have your phones out, I'm sure.
Yep.
Time to give to Shobi's. She'll
There we
love
go.
that. She'll love that. So you go ahead, spread the word, let your people know that this is a ministry that means a lot to you and it means a lot to your neighbors, and help us reach our goal tonight. The other reason why I'm highly motivated to meet our goal is that we've committed to not cut into this apple crisp that Taylor and Danielle are making.
That's right.
Unless we hit our goal. Please don't keep us from our crisp.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
So we better find out how it's going. So let's head over to Danielle and Taylor and find out how they're doing with our crisp. How's it going, ladies?
It's going great. I just realized that when we came on first, I didn't introduce Taylor. And so this is Taylor, and she's great. She's with me on the truck on Thursdays and in the kitchen, and she helps us out with a lot of financial stuff. She does payroll and all those things that I don't know how to do.
Admin. Yeah.
So it's awesome. All right, so it
we're
looks
almost
like
done, yeah.
she's finished with the crumb topping there, and if you kind of look at it, it looks like, I don't know, crumbs. And here we've got the 9 by 13
good,
pan,
yeah.
and the apples and the filling mixture just kind of spread out in there, and then you just sprinkle the topping on top. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, and we just want to cover every inch of it so we get a bite of the good crumb in every bite.
And the oven was preheating at 350, and we'll put it in for 25 to 30 minutes, but it kind of depends on how many apples you've got in there, how cold they were when they went in. What you're looking for is golden brown and delicious and bubbling around the edges. Okay, we'll check in later.
Thank you so much. Let's take some time here in the midst of our crisp making and fundraising to really get into the heart of what Shobi's is. So Deacon Kari, I know that some changes, some additions have been made in this year. Tell us about how the operating of Shobi's is going these days.
That's right. Well, due to the generosity of y'all last year, we were able to add a third serving day at Christ on Capitol Hill, which is actually where we are right now. The church and congregation that supports us by letting us rent space here and do ministry alongside them. They are a wonderful location, and we are so happy to be here every Tuesday from noon till 1 o'clock. And then we are still trucking along at our other two sites. One in Frogtown at Faith Lutheran, and that's on Thursdays. And then on Fridays, we're at Midway at Bethlehem in the Midway. And each day we serve lunch. It's noon till 1, but you know, often there's a few stragglers, so we're there for a little bit longer. Yeah.
3 days a week.
That's right.
That is no small thing. 3 days of these intentional, large lunches that you make for the people of St. Paul.
Yeah.
So we had our first fresh snow today.
This
some
is true.
whipping winds. How does this change what you all do? Because you're outside.
That's right. Yeah. Well, we will have the truck as long as we possibly can. But then we will put it to bed just because, you know, pipes freeze and all that, and we don't have an indoor storage facility right now. But you never know. Maybe we'll fundraise enough for one later on.
Yes.
Maybe. That'd be amazing. But we put it away for the winter at a farm up north, and then it doesn't mean that we're gone. It just means that we're going to serve from a table and have a big blue sign so you can still see us from far away. And then we'll make sure everything is all ready to go in to-go containers, and it's still delicious, it's still hot, and it's still a meal of dignity.
Yes. That sounds so perfect for those winter months. A belly full of soup. What more could you want? We're gonna see and hear the sights and sounds of Shobi's Table by checking out this video. Let's go see what the truck really looks like in action. Who is Shobi's Table? You are. Sure, there's good food. Actually, there's delicious, thoughtful, healthy, amazing food. And there's that big blue truck that calls everyone to gather round. But Shobi's Table is the people working and being together to satisfy the hunger of our bodies and souls. All of us, from volunteers and employees to guests at the table, are the foundation of this table-based community.
Hi, I enjoy Shobi's Table because it is a ministry of a church within a group. And also I enjoy the community, people work together. That some people donate the food source, and some people donate their time and talents to make the meals.
They're very polite and always have good food and enough to help out.
I love Shobi's Table because it's a real sense of community, and I love their cooking.
I like everything about the Shobi's Table because your food is very awesome.
Cover a wide range of people who enjoy it, and people get to know each other.
Shobi's Table serves all spring, summer, fall, and well into the winter months. Get ready for their trademark hand pies to keep you warm this winter. Make plans for lunch and visit the truck. Tuesdays at the Capitol near Christ on Capitol Hill, Thursdays in Frogtown at Faith Lutheran, and Fridays in the Midway at Bethlehem in the Midway. Come and be community. Feed and be fed. Isn't it great to see the truck in action? I think that is, you just really can't get a grasp on how special and unique this ministry is until you're standing in line at the truck and seeing your neighbors from St. Paul also coming to get a meal. So we're so grateful to the friends and Shobi's regulars who were willing to stop and talk to us for a little while and share about what Shobi's really means to them. I hope you see this incredible expression of our church throughout St. Paul. Let's get a fundraising update. Remember, we are working on our goal to get to $15,000 so that we can take full advantage of this incredibly generous gift of a matching grant of up to $15,000. $30,000 would mean incredible things for this ministry to just keep trucking and rolling and growing. So please head over to Shobi's Table, find that link, and give. We are currently at $3,500. So that number keeps moving in the right direction. Please help us by making your gift now, texting a friend. We have surpassed the $3,000 mark, which means we've bought groceries for 3 months. So we've gotten Shobi's through the winter as far as groceries are concerned, but there's so much more that we can do. Let's see, I'm looking at some numbers here. If 8 of the households watching tonight, or maybe you're catching this later, if you were to give a regular monthly gift of $100 a month, we would be well on our way to reaching this goal. At least getting up to $10,000. That's how much we would need to get $10,000. So consider also being a regular giver, not just giving tonight, but giving in a regular way as a part of your stewardship. We hope that you'll consider that. I think the crisp, I can smell it. It's smelling good. And Shobi's is much more than just amazing desserts, although man, do they do some good desserts. The staff of Shobi's, who you have met here tonight, has done some additional work to help educate and inspire all of us to be cooking in healthy and nutritious ways this holiday season. We're going to see 2 of their amazing gifts in soup and salad, really the heart of the Shobi's menus, especially in the summertime soup or the salads, and then the wintertime, the soup. So we're going to head now to see these cooking videos made by our very own Shobi's Table staff, salads and soup.
Hi everybody, this is Kari Olson, and I'm here to show you how to make soup with anything from your refrigerator. All right, let's see what we've got to work with. All right, well now we've pulled everything out of the refrigerator. I'll show you what we found and we'll see what we're gonna use and what we're not gonna use. So first over here we've got some celery and we've got some carrots. We also have some blended tomato, onion, and garlic, which we used to make some Mexican rice last week. We've got some ground beef, we've got some shredded cabbage, pieced kale. So we don't have to use all of this, but one of the things that it's making me think is that it would be a good Mexican day. Whenever we have like a tomato base of something, I often think about things like chili or taco soup or tomato soup for sure. But since we have all of these veggies, I think I'm leaning towards making a tortilla soup. So every soup starts with a good base, and this time we're going to utilize our nice celery and carrots. We'll probably add in some onion because we always have that available for us. And that's a French base called a mirepoix, and it's just good to have kind of an aromatic base. All those 3 things do a really good job of giving the soup like a flavor base to stand on. All right, now that we've got our base ready, I've chopped some onions, I've also chopped a little bit of garlic. We're gonna head into the cooking part. Now, one thing about cooking is I always start with a hot pot, so I'll turn the flame on right away, and then I'm gonna add my fat. I'm just using regular canola oil right now, and you'll notice that I'm making things in Shobi's Table quantities, so this is not just like at home for you. But one of the things about soup for me is that you don't necessarily need a recipe with exact amounts. You kind of work with what you've got, and that you learn how to get the feel for amounts. So I'm going to first throw in my onions. I'm going to get some chopped celery, and same with the carrots. All right, well, while our veggies are softening, let me talk to you a little bit about spices. So we've chosen to do a tortilla soup, which is kind of a Mexican theme. So I've got chili powder, I've got cumin, and I've got a little bit of coriander. And then for our acid, I'm going to use a little lime juice. This kind of soup, we could have gone many different directions. Like for example, we could have done Italian. We could have used oregano and basil. We could have even gone kind of an Americana way with like garlic powder and onion powder and parsley, maybe some dill. Well, we're going back to the veggies because we're getting pretty close to adding them in, but I just wanted to mention that you might have not thought about using tortilla soup with the vegetables and things that I have right before me. One thing that most people think about when you think of tortilla soup is that it's got to have like peppers in it. Well, yeah, I love it when it has peppers in it, but sometimes we don't have peppers. Maybe sometimes you don't have peppers. Maybe sometimes you've got cabbage. Maybe sometimes you've got kale. What I'm trying to say is that a lot of different vegetables can go into different soups, even if you don't think they should. So it's an opportunity to expand your imagination. All right, our veggies have softened and I have a big handful of garlic. Now, for Shobi's, we definitely deal in handfuls of garlic because we're making multiple gallons of soup. For you, I like to dabble in 2 to 3 tablespoons for when I'm cooking at home. So I'm going to throw in our tomato base, and if you remember, there's a little bit of onion and garlic in here, and so I do want that to cook a little bit. So I'm going to throw this in here first. All right, while our tomatoes are cooking off a little bit, I'm going to throw in our spices. So let's throw in some chili powder, but I am going to guess we might need to add some more later. When you're adding spices without a recipe, it is good to start with a smaller amount than you think you need. Taste it and then go from there. Good cooking is all about tasting and adjusting along the way. Along the way, we're also going to add salt. It's kind of called layering salt. So that means that you're bringing out the flavor at different parts of the cooking. It just makes it more of a holistic flavor profile. Next thing I'm going to add is our chicken broth. Now that we have lots of liquid, and so that means it's ready for me to add more vegetables that are going to be cooked by just being in the hot liquid. For example, a little bit of cabbage. I'm probably adding like 1.5 quarts or so right now. Cabbage has a lot of water in it, and so it's going to shrink quite a bit. No, I'm probably adding a little more than that. But while the cabbage is cooking in the liquid, I'm also going to add the meat. Today we've got a little bit of ground beef left over from what we made yesterday in the kitchen. I'm going to now add the kale, and kale does not take very long to wilt. So same thing with cabbage, kale also shrinks, but it just kind of depends on how much you want per bite. You know, if you really love kale, add a lot, but if you would rather it just be the color in your soup, then maybe just a little bit. I'm going to go to our lovely step of tasting and then adjusting our flavor. Definitely needs acid, so I'm going to add some lime juice. And remember, this is a Shobi's table amount, so I'm going to add like a pretty big swig. In fact, the rest of the bottle. I also could taste that it still needed a little bit of salt, even with the chicken broth that we use. And when you're doing salt at home, you know, maybe go more towards like the half teaspoon or even quarter teaspoon increments. But we know in this quantity that a tablespoon of salt is a good way to go slow. That's good. That's good. I wish you could taste it. So, this is one soup that you can make with almost any vegetable in your refrigerator, any protein you've got, and there you go. There's tortilla soup from Shobi's table.
Hello and welcome to Shobi's table. This is the kitchen where we do our work, and my name is Danielle. I am the kitchen manager with Shobi's table.
And I'm Julie, and I'm a frequent volunteer here at Shobi's Table. My husband and I come and volunteer almost every Thursday. I love it.
So today we're going to be making a few simple salads and salad dressings. Should we get started, Julie?
Let's go.
Okay, we're going to start today with a cucumber salad. And everything I talked to you about today, this is how I do it. You can do it the way you do it. Choose if you like less salt or more salt. Cooking is really about tasting and making it your own. And then also working with the ingredients that you have, which is what we do a lot at Shobi's Table. All right, so I prefer to use a red onion in my cucumber salad. And you can use any onion really, but the red onion is one of the nicer ones to eat raw, I think. And so I just slice it really thinly so that when you eat it, it's not too sharp.
I like the red onion in a salad like this too because the color is important. The visual things are really important.
Yeah, that's a good point. The contrast.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And then the other thing about the onion is before we do it, I do it first, let it sit in the vinegar and the dressing to, again, it takes some of the bite out of it and gives it a quick quickle,
yes,
if you will. So my dressing for a cucumber salad is a little bit of sugar. I'm doing about a teaspoon. A little bit of salt. Probably a quarter teaspoon.
Yeah, pinch.
Yep. And then a little bit of vinegar. And again, in this case, I use apple cider vinegar because that's what I prefer. But whatever vinegar you prefer. And there's a couple tablespoons. Will you whisk that up for me?
I always keep both white vinegar and cider vinegar on hand. There we go.
And then I'll just throw those onions in there. And they're just gonna sit in that vinegar and get sweet and salty and delicious while we work on the cucumber.
Wonderful. It already smells good.
Julie, can I have you peel the cucumber?
You bet.
When I make a cucumber salad, I like to take some of the skin off. Not all of it, but sometimes the skin can be a little bit tough, so it's a good idea to just sort of peel part of it off. And then the same with the seeds. This type of cucumber is an English cucumber. Really, the seeds are not too prominent. Different kinds of cucumbers, if the seeds are really big or tough, especially if it's a cucumber from your garden, just take those seeds out and then it makes it more pleasant to you.
And we just use a simple tool like this to do that, so that's kind of fun.
All right. And then again, there's a lot of different ways to slice it. I like rounds. How do you slice it when you make your cucumber salad?
I do rounds too.
Okay.
Yeah. Even when I make just a veggie salad, I just put rounds of cucumber like
Right.
that in it.
Now we eat a lot of cucumber salad at my house. So sometimes I'll cut them into cubes or half moons because
Right.
you know you have to have a little variety. So I'm just slicing a few to show you how I do it. We did some ahead of time to show that I toss them with a little sprinkling of salt to kind of get some of the liquid out.
Yeah, and it did too. There's liquid in the bottom of the
And
bowl.
that was just 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So not all of them. Let's see. Let's stir it up,
Okay.
and then of course we'll taste it.
And of course, this always gets better after you let it sit for a while too, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think I forgot. I like to put a little pinch of black pepper.
Oh yeah.
Not much, just a little sprinkle.
Great. Looking good.
Shall we give it a taste?
Yeah. Did you get some onion in there too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
It doesn't need more salt. Enough sugar, I think.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect.
That's it. We did it.
So that was pretty easy.
Yeah.
I would admit.
And somehow it's better than just a plain cucumber. All right.
Welcome back from hearing a little bit more of what it's like to make a soup here, what it's like to make a salad here. But we actually thought we'd give you a picture of the full day. So Danielle and I usually get here early to make a plan. And if you want to tell them what that looks like.
Sure. Well, one of us has to go get the truck. And so we roll up in Big Blue, and whoever gets here first makes a pot of coffee, and then we kind of sit together and yawn and talk about what we're going to do today. A little bit later, the volunteers show up, and we kind of go over the plan with them and talk about, who's going to do what do they prefer doing. It's actually really cute. We've got a bunch of couples that come, and not always, but often the husband does the dishes, hangs out in the dish room with the big machine, and the wife sort of spends more time in the kitchen with us. But it's not always. We've got one wife that likes to clean too. So, yeah. But it's one of the that's part of the community that we're building here, is with volunteers, and it's really nice. It's really nice to spend our days with these wonderful people who we're getting to know. We spend time when you're standing here at the table chopping onions. 2 gallons, only 2 gallons of onions, as our friend John says. You have a lot of time to talk and get to know each other. So that's really cool.
And we're usually jamming out to some good tunes.
Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Yeah, Peter, Paul, and Mary. Mamas and the Papas. Yeah. A lot of Michael Jackson, maybe some Prince. It's great.
Exactly. And we cook until about 11:30, and then we start to panic, and we get everything on the carts and roll out of the kitchen, up the elevator, and into the blue truck to head on our way for service. And depending on go ahead.
Oh yeah. Well, then we arrive at whatever site where we are. Which when we're here, it's just right here at Christ on Capitol Hill, or a short drive to Frogtown, or a little bit longer to Midway. And then one of my favorite things is when there's already people waiting for us. So, we got to set up in the truck, put everything on, turn the generator on, set up the line, put out the forks and everything. And we open the window, and there are beautiful people. And I just want to point out that the people who come to the truck for lunch are just as much as part of our community as those who come to volunteer. So no matter how you're part of this community, whether you come to lunch regularly, you've come to lunch once or twice, you volunteered, or if you are giving right now, you are all part of the Shobi's Table community.
And that actually reminds me, so when Kari was first starting this ministry, I was living in Washington State, so I wasn't able to participate fully as part of the community, but she asked us to pray for the ministry. And so pray for us every day. That's another way to be part of Shobi's Table. So
that's right.
There's just a lot of different ways that you can be part of the community.
Yeah.
I really like that.
And while you are praying and giving to this wonderful ministry, I'm going to invite back Elizabeth, and we're going to get an update on our numbers.
Thank you both so much. I love that this year we've really used From Scratch to get a behind-the-scenes glimpse into what makes Shobi's. And hopefully you've heard the loud invitation to be a part of the community, whether it's coming for lunch. I love getting a Shobi's lunch. It's the best lunch in town. It honestly is.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it is. Volunteering in the kitchen. I know my daughter loves it. Donating, like through this event right now, or becoming a regular giver to help sustain the ministry year round. There's also, with the Christmas season coming up, I know you have a Christmas list on the website.
We do.
Can you think of one of the items on there? What do you need these days?
Oh my gosh.
Put you on the spot.
Oh, I did. Let's see. Well, we're always looking for little kitchen things. I'm going to point you to the website.
Yeah.
But I will tell you about a great one this year. We really wanted a Roboku, which is a restaurant-grade food processor. And my mom heard that was on the wish list. And she got a bunch of her family and friends to pool their resources. And we got a Roboku this year.
That's amazing.
It was great.
Yeah.
I use it every day.
That's wonderful. And that's just the best way to, do a birthday fundraiser or the holidays. I mean, really, give your folks or your grandkids the gift of saying, hey, I bought 3 months of groceries at Shobi's Table. I'll take you to lunch there someday so you can see what your Christmas gift did this year. Mm-hmm. Give it some depth and some grounding. I know that it will be appreciated so much farther than you can even imagine. All right. Remember, together, we're on the road to $15,000 to support the ministry of Shobi's, which is ever growing ever needed in our city. And the most recent update that we have is that we are at $5,400.
All right.
Just over a third. We're well into our hour, so we'd love for those last minute gifts to just come pouring in, and we know that you'll give after the hour is up. But please keep those gifts coming. Head over to the website, share it on Facebook, text grandma, tell the people that this is where their energies need to be tonight. Hey Danielle, how's that crisp coming?
Well, it's starting to get golden brown and delicious. Seeing a couple bubbles around the edges. It'll be ready soon.
Yum, yum.
Golden brown and delicious, she says. We're not cutting into it unless we hit that mark. So please, give us our crisp and help us get to $15,000.
Yes.
Yeah. As we're getting ready to wrap up this evening, we're almost there.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us a highlight and a low light of Shobi's? What's been a great moment for you this year in Shobi's? What's been a hard moment? Maybe you want to start with the hard moment and end us on a high.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I'll give you a pretty recent hard moment.
I think I know what this one is.
Yeah, well, this week I got a text from the place where we have our truck, and someone said that our truck had been broken into. So, again, this is not the first time. And one of the windows was shattered, and so now it is covered with cardboard. So it's just a bummer, because that means that the truck needs to go to the shop and be out of commission for just a little bit, and also that we, have to use some of our funds to go towards that. But at the same time, we keep trucking. We keep trucking. And I think, one of our biggest highlights of the year was certainly adding our third day. I remember on the live stream last year, someone commented, "Oh, a third day, how biblical."
Yes.
How resurrection themed.
Things happen on the third day in the Bible.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. And so it has really been, it felt like a really complete step for us. Mm-hmm. And I know one of our goals next year, or maybe the year after, is going to be looking into that fourth day. So I don't know the biblical connotations of fourth, but we're going to find them.
Okay, I can't even censor myself. I have to tell you, because we just preached on this text of Lazarus being in the tomb 4 days, and there was a stench. I mean, that's what happens on the fourth day, but we're going to trust that the Shobi stench would be delicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep, I like it. Mm-hmm. It fits the year. All right. Shobi's is first and foremost a ministry. As you heard Danielle and Kari say, they ground their morning in prayer before any of the chopping and menuing begins. They begin by calling on God to be here. So, Kari, would you lead us in prayer as we end our evening?
Absolutely. The Lord be with you.
And also with you.
Oh, good and gracious God, what a privilege and a joy it is to come to you in prayer. God, thank you for this community that is building and growing and sustaining and supporting this ministry. God, this ministry that belongs to you. God, we know that it will thrive and survive and live into newness because you are behind it and through it and in it and for it. God, thank you for the invitation to be a part of this. Thank you for each and every person who has touched this ministry. For people who give money, for people who come to lunch. God, help us to know that we are always around your table, that we are equals around your table, and that you have provided for us. God, bless this day, this fundraiser, and help it to be a tool for your good. Help every part of Shobi's table to be a tool for your good. In your most holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Well, the phone has been ringing. I don't know if it's possible to get a fundraising update from Danielle or Taylor back there. We'd love a fundraising update. They're busy on the phone talking to y'all, so thank you so much for calling. Thank you for giving. We just want to give also a word of acknowledgement to Marshall Saunders, who's been behind the scenes here making this live stream happen, to the staff of Shobi's. Give of your time and talents today and earlier. And also, Shobi's is a wider community of the board that helps so much with the operations and the leadership. So thank you to our board members. But also here's some other partners of Shobi's that you might not be aware of. One World Everybody Eats, Twin Cities Food Justice, they've gotten a couple call outs tonight. Christ on Capitol Hill, where Shobi's Kitchen is. Faith Lutheran in Frogtown, Bethlehem Lutheran in the Midway, Gustavus Adolphus on the east side where the truck lives, and of course the St. Paul Area Synod. Are we ready for our update? Then Danielle,
Yes.
maybe we're ready to see some crisp if it's golden brown and delicious.
All right.
So far in just the last 45 to 50 minutes, you have given $7,079 to Shobi's Table.
Woo!
And we can hear those gifts continuing to pour in the background. Thank you so much for your generosity. We're so grateful.
Yeah.
Danielle, how's that crisp coming?
Well, I'm just gonna. Can I have those hot pads?
Oh,
Actually?
yes.
Yes,
you
okay. She's bringing it in. She's bringing it in.
This,
Oh, it smells great.
Ooh.
It smells
It
great.
is golden brown and delicious.
so we'll, dig in soon.
Yeah.
Soon we're
So
going to
dig in
save
soon.
it until we hit our goal of
And
$15,000.
that phone keeps ringing. That's great.
Yes, and we also want to be sure to thank the giver of our Mashing Grant. Thank you so much for opening your heart to Shobi's and giving this amazing ministry such a solid foundation for the coming year. It's an amazing gift.
Yeah.
If you haven't done it already, go over to Shobi's Table, make that gift on the From Scratch website. Do some Christmas shopping and
Oh,
buy
yeah.
a t-shirt.
Yes.
Look at how sharp these look.
I think
love
all
these.
of us have been wearing it really well. So,
Yeah, I agree.
you know, we
Nice
got some
soft
proof here.
cotton. They come in kid sizes as well. This would be such a fun gift to give to the kiddos. Bring them over to the truck for lunch. And most importantly, come and be community. Chop some carrots in the kitchen, head over to the truck, and be the church where people need to be fed physically, spiritually, relationally.
Amen.
Anything else, Deacon Kari?
I think that's it. I'm just full of gratitude.
Yes. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you for being part of Shobi's Table and tonight's From Scratch fundraiser. We'll see you at the truck.